As above, so below. As within, so without. You are the equation of eternity. Welcome to the Mercury Minute. Welcome to the Mercury Weekly. This week I will be doing the 12 signs of the zodiac and then covering the major aspects at the end for the week as an overview. Now for Aries. This is a very interesting time for you, Aries, because of number of reasons. First of all, you do have Mercury and Venus in your second house of money, property, and resources. However, Mercury is in retrograde, so you really need to pay attention to your money and the way you communicate, especially when you have a tendency to put your foot in your mouth and say things that maybe are appropriate and truthful. Sometimes that's the way you say things. So be aware of that. Also, friendships from the past could come back to be in contact, and you could have some pleasant surprises to be hearing from people you haven't heard from in a long time. Now, if you are a Taurus, this is really an important time because this is a time of new beginnings for you. The sun will be going into your sign shortly here. And also, we do have the moon in Cancer as we start this week. So it's really important to pay attention to your personal needs, your family needs, maybe taking some time to clean up the house, do some spring cleaning. That's also a good approach for you. Dating could be really very interesting. However, you need to make sure that you communicate very effectively and really don't play any games. Be very upfront with what it is you want and state very clearly what your heart has to say. It's really important to communicate effectively this week for you, Taurus. Now, if you are a Gemini, communication is always the most important aspect of your life. However, this week, it is highly emphasized with Mars in the early part of the week in your third house of communication. So again, with business, this should be very productive. Also be aware of the fact that there will be some issues at home that you're going to have to pay attention to. So be careful when it comes to possible repairs that might need to be done in the house. This part of the chart is very much highlighted for you, but also vocation. Things really look good in terms of work in general. But with Mercury in retrograde, you really have to be very careful of slowing down. And with the delays of communication, transportation are going to be very much highlighted for you specifically. So be aware of that. Now also, Cancer. This is a great time for a number of reasons. Saturn's in your fourth house of home. It gives you the authority to be in the home, to take care of your family, your husband, your wife, the children. Also, money is an issue, so you pay attention because, again, with this Mercury retrograde, there are going to be some issues that you're going to have to pay attention to. It's a good time to set up a savings account if you are a Cancer and to pay attention to the needs of the family. However, I must also point out that there will be some health issues that you're probably going to have to deal with. So pay attention if anything comes up, whether it's hay fever, any of the problems that are associated with this time of the year. That's something that you want to definitely address quickly and don't let it linger. Also, be careful when you're driving so that you don't get any parking tickets, things of that sort. There's an element there that you need to pay attention to as well. Now, if you're a Leo, boy, Mars has been in your sign for a long time. This whole area has been emphasized, whether it's communication, where it's been money, whether it's been new beginnings. But this is a major time for Leos to really pay attention to your work situation. If you're not happy at work, you really need to make some changes. If you are satisfied with the work situation, then maybe you're getting a promotion. Finally, things are coming around for you. However, with this Mercury retrograde, I have to really point out, this is a time for us to all slow down. This is not a time for spending money. You have a tendency sometimes to be a bit extravagant, so I would pull back on that issue. It would be most beneficial if you did. Now also, if you're a Virgo, I know Saturn has gone back into your sign briefly, but it's only there putting its toe into the sign of Virgo, kind of cleaning up any of the past 2 years' situations that have happened to you. However, I wouldn't worry about things at this point. I think things are finally eliminating themselves out of your life. And with this moon in Cancer, as we start out the week, the emphasis is on home, on your own needs, your personal needs. Those of your family, you might have a son or a daughter or a relative contacting you, asking for some help. That's not untypical for this week, especially if you are a Virgo. Now, also, the other thing I'd like to point out is that you are going to have a real sense of relief as the summer starts to progress. Now, if you're a Libra, this is a time to really reconsider your situation. Now, Saturn is going to go into your sign in July. And then the next couple of years, you're going to find yourself having a lot of transition, a lot of changes they're going to be coming. Now, when I say changes often to clients, they go, change? Oh my gosh, I'm so afraid of changes. Let me tell you, life is nothing but change. There is nothing permanent here. Everything is temporal, and you just better get used to that because that's the way it is. But Libra does have a tendency to be a little bit out of balance. So one of the lessons for Libra is certainly to be in balance with their life. And that's really important to pay attention to that, because Libras do have a tendency to give so much of themselves away to people that they forget about their own personal needs. And so this is the time to really pay attention, because you're going to be challenged here. There's no getting around it quite a bit. For the next couple of years. Now, if you're a Scorpio, this is really an interesting time for you, because it's really what I would call an in-between time, in the sense that you're not really in the position to start heading out the way you would like, but at the same time, you're also ready to move forward. So pay attention to what it is you really want to do and accomplish this year. Now, you might have some health issues that come up a little bit, especially with hay fever, things of this sort. Nothing to really worry about. Also, dating is really highlighted here. Unexpected things happening. I mean, really meeting someone that you wouldn't have anticipated, a new relationship, a new start coming your way, and maybe even a couple of potential relationships. I mean, very much highlighted this week, especially if you're a Scorpio. And also, be careful with your money this week especially. This is not the time to be spending money on things that you really don't need. So pay attention to your resources. That's a really major highlight. Now, if you're a Sagittarius, the home is a real major emphasis here. So you're going to be spending time at home, but also for you, traveling is a way of being at home, going out into nature. I would really recommend that this week if you are a Sagittarius. That's going to really bring you back into your center. Now, if you're a Capricorn, the thing to really pay attention to is everything. You have so much going on. It seems like there's a lot of changes happening to you, and they're good changes of opportunity, and you will find that money is going to finally be coming a little bit easier coming your way. And there's also major emphasis here, again, on relationships and romance. So pay attention. There is possibly a smoldering fire that could burst into quite a romance. So be patient with yourself. And if you are ready, this is a major time for Aquarius. Aquarius, this is a good time to listen to your intuition. However, there could be some frustrations when we have the Sun, Mercury, and Venus in Taurus. It does square your sign, so we have to pay attention to frustrations, especially with Mercury going in retrograde. So slow down a little bit and don't take things so personally. You have to kind of realize that when something is delayed, that is happening for your own benefit, and just kind of go with that. Now, if you're a Pisces, this is a wonderful year. We've talked about it constantly because of Jupiter being in your sign, and this is the time to really pay attention to your intuition. Go after what you want. Financially, you're well supported. Everything is supported. Romance. Also, maybe pay attention to your health. That's another area that's popped up. Now for the overview for April 19th through the 25th. Well, this week we do have the moon going into Cancer on Monday. And also, depending on where you live, the sun is going into Taurus, Chiron is going into Pisces Monday, Tuesday, so that's a major shift. Now, during the middle of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, there could be some difficulties because the moon being in Leo is going to have a lot of square to the signs in Taurus. So pay attention Wednesday and Thursday for any potential problems that might pop up. Romance on Friday could be a little tentative for a number of reasons. The moon will be squaring Venus, also Neptune. So pay attention. There might be some problems with romance on Friday. Now, Saturday, Sunday, the planet of Venus goes into Gemini. So all of a sudden, there's going to be a lighthearted quality next 3 or 4 weeks concerning romance. Romance is going to be much more light. You're going to be really communicating a lot more, texting, emailing, calling one another. That's going to be a really major highlight. If you're new to a relationship, this could be a really exciting week. And then on Sunday, the moon will be going into Libra. And so this is overall a week for caution, but pay attention. Again, to overcome any problems, just pay attention, which is the simplest act of love. I'm Michael Mercury, and thank you so much for listening to the Mercury Weekly.